Hi, I'm Nikki Lechniak, and welcome to the 50th episode of the 502 Report. Shipping items from the Bluegrass State to other countries can mean more jobs and big money for area businesses. Find out how local leaders are attempting to take advantage of that.
The quickest way for most companies to grow is to add a job related to exports.
Since leaders in our region developed the BEAM Initiative, or Bluegrass Economic Advancement Movement, exports have grown in the Louisville and Lexington areas and surrounding counties by 9%. The mayors of Lexington and Louisville are committed to growing businesses and exports to help ensure our local companies survive and thrive in the changing economy.
All of us want to give Kentucky businesses the opportunity to go after the 95% of the world's consumers that live outside the United States. And this means, if we do it right, it means more opportunity for Kentucky businesses. It means that they sell more products, and when you sell more products, you have more revenue to reinvest in your business and hire more workers and create jobs.
That's why local officials recently signed an agreement with the Undersecretary of International Trade to declare their support to increase awareness among businesses of all sizes and the public.
One of our objectives is to double our exports within 5 years, focusing on small and medium-sized businesses. So I'm delighted to see the agreement that we have here that's focusing on that here today. We know that export jobs typically require higher skill and are higher wage jobs as well, so we're delighted to focus in that area.
The BEAM exports come from a diverse array of industries, including transportation, machining, and food and beverage. And local offices are working with national agencies to help achieve higher export goals.
Despite some economic ups and downs over the years, Louisville's relationship with Ford remains strong, and officials recently gathered to celebrate the century-long relationship.
One corporation has survived and is once again thriving after 100 years of business in Louisville.
Throughout the 100 years, Ford Motor Company has been an outstanding corporate citizen. We have truly appreciated the opportunity to have their investment and their job creation right here in Louisville and Jefferson County.
Company executives and employees were honored by many local officials for their contributions to Louisville.
We want folks to always remember that along with great jobs and along with great financial investment, they're a tremendous corporate citizen. So if you guys will come on up, Ford Motor Company Day, so declared by Stephen L. Fischer, Governor of the Commonwealth of Kentucky. Great to see you.
Ford opened its first Louisville facility with 17 employees making only 12 cars a day and has grown to employ 8,500 people at its two state-of-the-art facilities in Metro Louisville.
And when you add to the current 8,000 plus Ford employees in Louisville, the alumni of Ford workers in this community and their families, it is a major, major part of our population and our tradition and our culture, and it's wonderful to be able to help celebrate 100 years here.
We couldn't do it certainly without a great partnership of cooperation with the city legislators, state, Commonwealth of Kentucky, and our partnership with the UAW formed in 1941. Without all that, we wouldn't be around 100 years, and without all that going forward, we won't be around for another 100 years. Thank you very much for what you presented us today.
There's no need to pack your bags to hit this trail. The newest addition to Louisville's urban Bourbon Trail is right downtown on Main Street.
Downtown's Whiskey Row is expanding. Down One Bourban Bar is now open at the corner of 3rd Street and Main and offers a selection of more than 100 bourbons.
My husband and I were walking down New York Street and saw this is how they do a lot of their buildings, and we thought this is just too cool. So we brought it back to our board of directors and family and associates, and we all put our heads together and we came up with this Down One to be part of the mayor's initiative to grow Main Street into a bourbon street to capture a lot of tourists for Louisville, and I love that.
The bar also features an array of creative cocktails and reasonably priced food, incorporating many local and seasonal items.
We've seen the strength of this type of tourism presence in Napa Valley with wine and other places around the country with wine as well. So we are just at the very beginning stages of tourism as it relates to bourbon. Last year, 500,000 people went on the Bourbon Trail. Our urban Bourbon Trail here is really growing rapidly in Louisville with new classy additions like this.
If you'd like to take a look for yourself, Down One is located at 321 West Main Street.
Here's some more news from Louisville Metro.
If we have healthy, growing metro areas, we can certainly have a healthy, growing Kentucky as well.
Mayors and county judges from Kentucky's largest metro areas gathered in Frankfort to discuss their legislative priorities for 2013. Tops on the list are pension reform and lift, or temporarily adding to the sales tax to raise large amounts of money for special projects.
Kentucky citizens don't have this basic voting right. 37 other states allow their citizens to vote on the local option.
We want to empower the citizens of our counties to make their voices heard on the investments that we need to make using a broad-based sales tax. We want to lift our communities up without being a burden on already stretched state and local budgets.
They're all members of the Metropolitan Alliance for Growth, hoping to use the 60% of Kentuckians they represent to help move their issues forward in Frankfort.
If you look at all the local and the state tax revenue that comes into a state, and then you look at who spends it, disproportionately in the state of Kentucky, that money gets spent in Frankfort. And out of 50 states, we're in the bottom 4 by that measure.
A special festival of faiths will accompany the Dalai Lama's visit this May. The Center for Interfaith Relations will host a series of speakers and programs from May 14th to the 19th, celebrating and discussing compassion.
It's that note on compassion that people have really responded to the most, not just here locally, but around the country and around the world as well. So it's really a delight for us to be able to put the spotlight on our city for these 6 days, 7 days in May coming up, and kind of share what we've learned and also bring other people to town so that we can learn from them.
The community is encouraged to get involved. Tickets for the 18th Festival of Faiths are available through the Actors Theater box office. For a complete schedule of events, go to DalaiLamaLouisville.org.
The idea is if we could create days that really inform Louisville on sort of who the Dalai Lama is, what is it that orients his thinking, that will make our time with him all the more valuable and deeper. So we've said to ourselves that in many ways our program is to prepare the city for His Holiness's visit.
Life is worth living, you know, it really is, and you should want to know about your health, because things, you can't see it, you can only feel it, and when you have symptoms, you need to have it, need to have it looked at.
Colon cancer is the second deadliest cancer in the nation, but also one of the most preventable. And now, about 1,200 low-income and uninsured Louisvillians will receive screenings over the next 16 months.
As per the Kentucky Cancer Registry, 2005 to 2009 data shows Kentucky with the highest rate of colon cancer in the nation. We can do better, and we're making strides.
These are people behind this data. These are not cold numbers on a sheet of paper here. These are folks that are suffering, families that are grieving when detection takes too long, and this is something that is actually preventable. And it's one of the few diseases where we can get this kind of return when we really get out and get after it.
Several organizations, as well as 13 private physicians, have partnered as part of the colon cancer screening program to help make this all possible.
This is only the beginning. We are continuously recruiting more physicians who will participate and provide free colonoscopies in the community as well. Through this partnership, we have leveraged funding in the amount of $133,000 from the Kentucky Department for Public Health and have augmented that funding from the Kentucky Cancer Foundation, bringing the total amount for this initiative to $282,600.
Screenings can help doctors find and remove polyps, which are precancerous growths, before further problems develop.
It's not just gastroenterologists doing colonoscopies that are going to make this program work for us in Metro Louisville. It's networks providing backup, facilities, not just GI guys, but pathologists, labs. There's a whole litany of things that go on behind the scene that without the cooperation and engagement of the networks across Metro Louisville, this wouldn't be nearly as successful.
To be eligible, patients must be aged 50 to 64 without insurance and earning at or below $27,825 a person per year. If you'd like to see if you qualify, call 774-4401.
People are replicating what we're doing all around the world, so that's great.
Mayor Fischer is challenging Louisvillians to give service, donate items, or money during the city's second annual Give-A-Day Week. Last year, 90,000 volunteers and acts of kindness were recorded, And this year, the mayor's aiming a little higher.
Great first year last year. But my motto is, just like you all, we can always do better. We can always do more. So this morning, I'm issuing a call to action to the entire community to step up, get in the game, and help us break our own world record for public service during this year's Give a Day Week of Service, April 13 to 21st. So we're setting our goal this year for 100,000 volunteers and acts of compassion for this week's Give a Day. Now, can we do it?
By creating a healthy sense of competition, organizers hope to energize the community into showing kindness as a kickoff to Louisville's most talked about time of the year, the Derby Festival.
We were talking a little smack about some of these other cities, and you know, these compassionate wannabes, the one thing that they don't have to hang their hat on is the Kentucky Derby Festival. So we just encourage everybody to go to our website, kdf.org. If you want to volunteer, you can go to the Give a Day website. We link back and forth and get involved, because it is the greatest time of year to be in Louisville.
There's a wide variety of organizations involved and activities planned.
We understand at JCPS the benefit of learning through giving. So community initiatives like the mayor's are totally aligned with our strategic plan.
To learn more or participate, go to mygiveaday.com.
People often say, how can you get it done? And I give them the same answer. You get it done one student at a time.
A new after-school pilot program will help prepare dozens of kids at Wheatley Elementary to better deal with violence, drugs, and life.
As an experienced law enforcement officer with my other hat on, I've spent countless hours working with parents and citizens, trying to find ways to empower our youth and to give them opportunities and purpose.
Through a combination of tutoring and mentoring, project organizers hope to see results in the 2nd to 4th grade students at the California Community Center.
And at the end of the semester, we'll assess the program, then look to build it in other areas across the country, especially in some of the elementary schools and middle schools that really need a program like this.
This project is a joint effort with JCPS, the Lincoln Heritage Council, Metro Parks, and the Boy Scouts, and will run after school Monday through Thursdays. 12 community centers in Louisville are having summer camps this year. The camp theme is Fantastic Voyage, and the focus will be on fitness, the arts, and environment. Programs are designed for kids ages 6 to 12, and there's also a teen camp at the South Louisville Community Center. Fees range from $55 to $95 a week. For more information, call Camp Coordinator Karen Grinstead at 456-8142 or email her at karen.grinstead@louisvilleky.gov. Metro Louisville now has a new director of safe neighborhoods. Following the recommendations of the Violence Prevention Work Group, Anthony Smith will work with neighborhoods, government, and other groups to oversee violence reduction strategies. Smith has experience working with the community in his role as Director for Network Organizing for the Network Center for Community Change. He's also been a caseworker in the Jefferson County Attorney's Office and worked for the Louisville Urban League and JCPS. Work by an eclectic group of artists is on display at Metro Hall. Louisville's neighborhoods, landmarks, and rural areas are being interpreted by 3 local artists through photos, paintings, and knit arts. The exhibit runs now through June 8th and is open weekdays from 8 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. There's no charge to enter Metro Hall, but you'll need to go through security and bring a photo ID.
Thanks for joining me on this episode of the 502 Report. Until next time, take care.
Metro TV, a public service of Louisville Metro government.